Juventus didn't choose black and white. They wanted pink. Pink shirts with a black tie. But when the shipment arrived from England, the dye had washed out in transit. And the supplier sent replacements in the only colours he had left, black and white stripes from Notts County. The most iconic kit in Italian football is the result of a laundry accident. November 1st, 1897. A group of teenage boys from the Massimo d'Azeglio Lyceum, a prestigious secondary school in Turin, meet after class. They're 17, 18 years old. Middle-class, educated, sons of Turin's industrial and professional families. Italy doesn't have a national football league yet. That's still a decade away. There are a handful of clubs in the north. Genoa, founded by English expats in 1893. Milan, also English, founded a year before Juventus. But Turin has nothing. The d'Azeglio boys decide to fix that. They name it Sport Club Juventus, Latin for youth. The founding group includes Eugenio Canfari, who becomes the first president at age 20. Enrico Canfari, his brother, Carlo and Alfredo Bertonetti, Luigi Forlani, Antonio Brassino. Names that mean nothing now, except in club archives. They rent a field in Parco del Valentino, a public park along the Po River. No grandstand, no clubhouse, no nets. They play practice matches against each other because there's nobody else to play. The first recorded match is an internal scrimmage in March 1898. That's when the kit problem surfaces. They need uniforms to distinguish teams, and they want to look legitimate. The club settles on pink shirts, rose technically, with a black tie or collar. Why pink? Nobody documented the reasoning. Some historians suggest it was inspired by the Palermo Club, which wore pink. Others think it was simply the colour of fabric the founders could afford. What's certain is they placed an order with an English textile supplier. Italy didn't have a domestic sportswear industry yet. The shipment takes weeks. When the crate finally arrives in Turin, they open it to find the pink has faded to near white. The dye couldn't survive the journey, heat, moisture, mishandling in transit. They write back to England, send replacements. But the supplier no longer has pink in stock. What he does have, surplus black and white striped jerseys originally made for Notts County Football Club in Nottingham. Notts County, founded in 1862, is one of the oldest clubs in the world, and their stripes are distinctive. The supplier offers them at a discount. Juventus, cash-strapped and impatient, accepts. The stripes arrive, the club wears them in their next match, and the pink kit is never mentioned again. By the turn of the century, Juventus is still a small operation. They play friendlies and regional matches. In 1900, they enter the Italian Football Championship for the first time. It's not a league. It's a knockout tournament. Only 3 clubs participate that year: Genoa, Torinese, and Juventus. Juventus loses in the first round 0-1 against Torinese. The following year, they don't enter. The club is struggling to keep players, struggling to pay rent on their field, and there are rumours they might fold. That's when the wealthy businessmen arrive. In 1903, a group of Turin's industrialists and financiers, men with actual capital, decide Juventus is worth saving. They take over the club, professionalise the management, and fund a proper ground. Suddenly, Juventus has money. By 1905, they've built Corso Marsiglia, a small stadium in the Crocetta district. It holds a few thousand spectators, tiny by modern standards, massive for a club that was playing in public parks 5 years earlier. In 1905, Juventus wins their first Italian championship. They beat Genoa in a playoff after both teams finished the season with identical records. The schoolboys who founded the club 8 years earlier are still in their 20s, but most have moved on. Eugenio Canfari, the first president, left the club in 1901. None of the original players are still on the team. Juventus is no longer their club. It belongs to the businessmen who saved it, and eventually to the Agnelli family, who take control in 1923. The Agnellis, who own Fiat, turned Juventus into Italy's most successful club. 36 Serie A titles, 2 Champions League titles, global brand recognition that would be incomprehensible to the kids who founded it in a park. But the stripes remain. The accident that happened because a dye couldn't survive a train ride is now the most recognized pattern in Italian sport. The club the founders wanted, the one in pink, never existed. What exists instead is the version created by chance, logistics, and a supplier in Nottingham who had extra inventory. Sometimes history is made by 15-year-olds with an idea. Sometimes it's made by a shipment that arrives late and wrong. Next time, we cross into Spain, where a Swiss educator and a group of homesick British miners created something neither of them intended to last.